Joel has a question about playing doubles around the kit. He's having some trouble playing his doubles on the drums between the snare and the toms and back and forth and blah, blah, blah. So he's just basically writing, I've been playing for 25 years. I'm self and internet/VHS taught, which basically means he's been learning mostly online and through instructional videos. Good move. That's basically how I learned. But he says, I don't have a proper double like the marching and drum corps guys seem to have. I need specific instruction for just working doubles from the snare to the toms and around the kit. All right. Here's the thing, man. Back up, first of all. You mentioned that you don't have a double stroke like the marching and drum corps guys do. Stop right there. The first thing you need to do before you take it to the kit is get that happening. You have to develop your double stroke properly, because if you take it to the drums and they're not developed, they're going to sound like crap. Especially when you take it to the toms, because the toms are moving. The skins are moving on the toms. They're not tight like the snare is, so it's a lot easier to play doubles on the snare than it is to say on a floor tom, for instance. So you need to play a proper double stroke and develop that first before you take it to the drums and spread it out. Once your double stroke is developed, taking it to the kit is easy. You mentioned in your email that you have a book, playing doubles around the kit. That's fine. Like, all those exercises are cool. But if your double sucks, it's not going to sound good. Too many guys put the accent on the first stroke. What you should do is flip it, put the accent on the second stroke. That will sort of help you to develop the proper technique as far as playing them, and it'll even your volume out so that when you're playing your doubles, they're nice and strong, and when you take it to the kit, they're going to sound just as strong. I still practice my doubles this way all the time. And again, what you have to do is put the accent on the second stroke. And basically what I do to play that second stroke is I'll play the first one, and then the second one, I kind of snap it up. So I use these 3 fingers on my hand to just sort of snap that second one up. So when I'm playing my doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear the accent on that second note, as opposed to, right? I'm sort of putting that accent on the second note of the double. Once you get used to that, you can sort of think of it as sort of like a reverse dog paddle kind of motion. Like, instead of digging it in, I'm pulling it out. That's basically it. When you're playing on your toms and on your snare drum, when you want to get these really, really clean doubles playing on your toms, you got to pull them out. Pull them out of the drum instead of digging into them. And the way to do that is, again, put the accent on the second note of the double. So again, I'm just kind of snapping that second one out using my fingers. Once you get it, then you can slowly bring them down and even those notes out so that they sound, they sound nice and even. So I can even them out, or I can accent them. So when I'm playing my doubles on the kit, it becomes really easy, and the volume is consistent. I didn't do a whole bunch of double exercises on the drums. I don't really work out of books because I don't believe a lot of that stuff is going to be applicable when I go to play in the real world. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm trying to remember exercise 13 on page 7. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep everything as sort of natural and applicable as possible. So I just basically did 2 exercises on the drums when I was practicing my doubles. First, I made sure that it was developed. And then all I did was spread the hands out. So first thing you can do is, play the left hand on the snare, play the right hand on tom 1. Simple as that. So, if you're playing a double stroke, like that, take your right hand and just move it to the first tom. And then the second one, and then the floor tom. That's basically all I did, man. I don't have any fancy double exercises to share with you. That's basically all I did. I just played a double stroke around the kit. I'm not thinking about the drums. I'm thinking about the hands. When you think about the hands, it doesn't make any difference what drums you end up hitting. So, left hand on the snare, right hand floating around the toms, and then I just reverse them. So I start like that, and then reverse them. And then I just take the hands and move them around the kit. That's basically how I practice my doubles around the drums. There's nothing fancy. I don't do any of that crossover stuff. I mean, you can get down with that if you want to, but, I was never that dude. I just want to make sure that my doubles sound clean if I go to play them on the drums. That's probably the best advice I have for you, man. Don't get too crazy with it, with the fancy exercises and stuff. Focus, first of all, on developing your double stroke so that it's nice and strong, so that when you go to play it on the floor tom, you can get all your notes nice and even. Just take your hands and then move your hands around the kit while you're playing the double, and you'll be fine.